Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Jay and welcome to The Ship Life. So in today's cruise news, we have multiple pilots from multiple airlines that have come out and announced that they will be suing the CDC over masking policies. We will go over the details available so far, as well as how this does relate to cruising. Carnival Cruise Lines has also come out in response to all the rumors circulating about the potential for removing the or virtual muster drill. Well, we have the ambassador for Carnival Cruise Lines, John Held, and he wasn't too happy about all the news and rumors that were circulating. Let's go ahead and get into it. So to start this episode off, we do have to address the cruise ship in the room because man, the Carnival crowd is strong and they are fierce and they are loyal to Carnival. Guys, so earlier today I posted a video talking about some news that surfaced yesterday. It was just a bunch of rumors and claims and the potential for Carnival possibly, maybe, but probably not removing the virtual muster drill, the e-muster if you will. Now again, it was nothing that was confirmed, but it was an article that came out yesterday and I came out and talked about it today. It was a little late, all right? I'll be honest. I took a day off yesterday. I came back to it. Now, the thing is, whenever I post that video earlier today, I knew that there was an update. You had the ambassador of Carnival Cruise Lines, John Held. He came out and debunked the whole thing. And, well, he didn't seem too happy about it. I guess there was so much hype about this and a lot of people up in arms about this, saying they wouldn't cruise with Carnival if they got rid of the virtual muster drill. It just kind of prompted John Held to come out and basically say that this isn't happening and that he blamed pretty much like the TikTokers and social media lights, like I guess people like me, which given, I guess it doesn't include me because this came out before I even posted my video. But either way, you have a lot of people that are angry even when I posted this video, and I'm like, guys, look, the thing is, when I talked about this video, when I put out, like, I don't write scripts, but when I did my research on this video, it was last night. And when I actually got my video done, that's when I had found out about the update. And honestly, I posted it for two reasons. I figured, why not? It would create a little bit of a conversation, because the thing is, even if Carnival or their PR team, or be it John Held, said something about this, I can name at least 5 different situations when somebody that represents a cruise line has come out and said something not to be true, and then we find out weeks later that it actually is. Now, I don't think the virtual muster drill is going anywhere. I want to make that very clear. You can't take something that's so convenient for everybody. It gives people a little more time to explore the ship and get to something that they've actually been trying to do, which is go on vacation. I don't think it's going anywhere, but you guys get my point. I just want to put out there that I got respect for the Carnival crowd. You guys need a cool name like Loyal to Royal. I think there's a very fierce competition as far as who is more loyal to the cruise line, Loyal to Royal or the Fun family. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell too much on this topic, guys. I just wanted to let you know what the update was. And for all you Carnival people, let's take a breath and calm down. You got people telling me this is why I'll never be as good as Tony from La Lita Loca or the other content creators. I consider myself somewhat of a different breed. I talk about things other than cruise news as well, and I don't see competition. At the end of the day, we're all a community. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and let's move on. So in breaking news, we have 10 pilots that have gathered from across the galaxy, from JetBlue, American, and Southwest, that are coming out and stating that they are going to sue the CDC for their masking policies. Now, there is currently a federal mask mandate in place for public transport, so that would include airlines, and it was set to expire this month. However, it has now been extended until April 18th, and well, the pilots aren't too happy about that, which is why they are announcing the lawsuit. They are saying that the masking policies that are currently implemented on board, especially in this era during the pandemic or endemic, however you want to look at it, is causing the passengers to be unruly. It's the reason why a lot of passengers are becoming aggressive, and they're also stating that the masking policies that are in place do not in any way, shape, or form protect the pilots or any of the flight crew on board. There is no significant data that proves that. Now, throughout the pandemic, especially in 2021, and up until this point, there have been over 4,000 incidences that involve people getting angry on planes, which I'm sure you guys have seen all the viral videos that have been put out on social media and whatnot. They've also equated to over $650,000 in fines. Now, again, this is why the pilots are saying that maybe it's time to get rid of all this stuff, considering the overall landscape of the pandemic. And I believe on their end, they have a very good point. If you look around the US, especially domestically in a lot of places, this is varying state to state, and depending on local governments, you don't have to wear a mask indoors anymore on cruise ships. Other than the cruise terminal, you really don't have to wear a mask on board at all anymore. It's your choice. It's an optional thing, except for airlines. So naturally, you're going to have people that are going to make the equation and say, wait, how come we're allowed to do not wear a mask here and we have to wear one here? It's just going to make people very frustrated. and I believe that it's understandably so, because on airlines they do have a good filtration system, and the CDC themselves have already come out and said straight up that an airline or being on an airplane gives you the least likely chance of catching COVID. So when you look at that data and you look at the information that's available, it is going to cause just naturally a lot more passengers, a lot more people that are flying on planes to get a little bit more irritated as time goes on, seeing as how other places are opening up and getting rid of their health and safety protocols when it comes to masking, social distancing, stuff of that nature. It's also causing a lot of pilots to experience fatigue when it comes to wearing masks. At least this is what the pilots, the 10 of them that are with the airlines, are complaining about, which I guess I could understand that. I would imagine up in the sky when there's like less oxygen and whatnot, and them having to fly the planes and them having to breathe in the mask wherever they go. Naturally, you'll see a lot of people say it's just a mask, you can wear it or whatever. But when it comes, for me personally, when you're talking about a pilot that is in charge of my life, that is in charge of the lives of, or the responsible for the health and safety of everybody on that plane, and they're saying they have problems, personally, I wouldn't argue with them. You know what I mean? No, I'm not saying we're gonna have some catastrophic event, God forbid a plane crash, something like that, over a mask. But my point is, we want the people that are flying the planes and taking us from point A to point B to be as comfortable as possible. I 100% agree on that end. Now, the federal mask mandate for, federal transportation or public transportation, again, airplanes, that has been extended 30 days until April 18th. So I guess we'll have to see what happens until that point. Now, I believe with the landscape overall that we're dealing with, it could potentially and probably will go away after April 18th. However, I believe these pilots that are now stepping up, they're probably coming in now because they want to avoid a possible extension should one arise, because there is talks of COVID rising over in Europe and that it could come over here and whatnot. It's a giant mess. So I do understand their frustration. I understand where they're coming from as well. But of course, I do look at things objectively and understand where the federal government is coming from as well. Now, how does this relate to cruising? Well, I think it's kind of a no-brainer. There are a lot of people, a massive percentage of people that don't live in Florida, for example, and they can't just drive to the cruise port. They rely on an airline to fly them over to Miami, Port Canaveral, where it is, or Orlando, rather, wherever it is they're going to be flying out of. Now, I also believe that this type of situation does have the momentum to grow. There could be more pilots added, and then the pilots could also use the cruise lines as a good excuse and say, well, the cruise lines, they were in a category where they had to wear masks and social distancing, and they had all these rules, and now they're starting to kind of relax on their policies, so why not the airlines? Again, I just believe it's a good argument. But either way, guys, we're going to leave it right there. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're for or against, I completely understand both sides of it. However, I just, it's a giant mess. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, guys, I hope you were doing well. Of course, on your way out, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and until then, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.